What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Today on the channel we're going to be busting out some beautiful Texas style spare ribs. We're going to see if these lovely Smoking Brothers pellet grills can knock out some phenomenal Texas barbecue. I'm sure they can, but we'll find out. Today for our rub we're going to be using a blend of salt and pepper, as well as some Smoking Brothers butt rub and some Smoking Brothers udder added for my own touches. We're also going to be running our Smoking Brothers at 250 because that is what 90% of the Texas barbecue restaurants run their offset style pits. So we want to get that kind of temperature and color dialed in. This is going to be awesome. Stay tuned. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Rampage Bbq. Today we're going to be busting out some Texas style spare ribs. We're going to not be using just salt and pepper. A lot of the times these barbecue places and magazines will lie to you, saying that they're only using salt and pepper, and they're absolutely full of hot garbage. They're using a lot more than that. A lot of the times they're using salt and pepper as a base, and then normally add in some Lowry's at the end or some other type of seasoning salt. Some people put garlic, some people put ancho chilies in them. They all have their own signature way of making their own rub. So let's get to it. Alright, we have our mason jar. This is going to be our vessel of choice today. We also have a quarter cup measuring cup. We have our lovely pepper, just table grind pepper, so let's get started. So we're generally going to put 1 part salt. There's your 1 part. There was a little bit more in there. Right. Now we're going to use 2 parts black pepper. There is 1. And that looks good for me. And we'll put a little bit more into makeup for the... Right, there you go. There's your 2 parts. Now, a lot of people will stop at this right here. We're not going to be doing this. We want to also put in a 1/4 part of the Smoking Brothers udder rub. It's really, really good. It's a steakhouse rub. I really like it. We're going to just put that in for a little added kick. And then on top of that, we're actually going to put in some of the butt rub, which is right here. This is the Smoking Brothers sweet rub. I know this is going to replace our Lowry's. We're going to go in with a 1/4 of our part into there for our signature seasoning. So right there we have our rub ready to go. We're going to go ahead and give this a mix, and we'll be right back. As you can see, we now have our rub all set, ready to rock and roll. Here we have a beautiful, lovely big rack of Smithfield's spare ribs. They are not cut St. Louis. They are the original spare ribs cut, like you would find in Texas. Let's get these trimmed up. So, as you can see, we have removed from the pack. We have patted this dry, and this is what we have. So what we're going to first of all do is we're going to start rounding off the edge of this. We want to start knacking it off about there. Now this is a Texas style cut. That's what how I'm going to end that cut right on the end. I'm not worried about. I want to obviously make sure my corners are nice and round, which they are. I'm going to knock that off right there. Right, I'm happy with that. That's good on there. On the other side, we're going to flip this over. We're going to kind of trim this down just a smidge. Do not let this knife fool you. It is cooking sharp. Alright. I'm kind of happy with that. I'm not really worried about any of that. A lot of that's going to render on down throughout the process. Right, this I'm not too worried about. We're just going to get that straggler off. Right, we're going to flip this over to the back and see what we have under. Okay, we have this pork skirt which is sitting right here. Now, some restaurants do leave this in, but I do not. So we're going to go ahead and remove it. Lift it up all the way and get these little stragglers off. Okay, so now we have a lot of fat on this side. I'm not too worried about this. A lot of that's going to render down. You could sit and trim this for hours and hours and hours. We can just kind of run over it like that. Absolutely awesome. Not too worried about this now. You see this lip right here? This will, on this back side, we kind of have this lip. We want to round that off. Now, this is why I use this, because sometimes there can be cartilage in them. And these little boning knives will not rip through this cartilage. This thing will annihilate it. Okay, so we're just kind of feeling it out, making sure there's no... We're going to go ahead and... Some things you do for barbecue, but make sure you don't get your fingers in this, because it will remove them. Alright, so I'm kind of happy with this. Now we're going to talk about membrane. Some people remove the membrane, some people score it, some people don't even touch it at all. This time around I actually am going to remove it for the simple fact that we are not running hot and fast. If I'm running hot and fast, I will not remove this. I'll just go ahead and score it and put it on there, because the added heat will actually completely entirely crisp it up and I won't have a problem. So we're going to rotate this around to where I can work it. We're going to put the big old cleaver away from me so I don't get hacked. And we're going to take just a spoon and we're going to shove it down into this membrane until you can get your hand under there, which we can now. You want to kind of try and rock. If you need a piece of paper towel, don't beat the chicken. And just start kind of ripping this puppy off. Sometimes you'll get it in one. It's rare though. A lot of times you will have to hit it twice, like your sister. Alright, we're going to put that to the pile. We're going to now start working, getting the rest of it removed. Now, the reason why some people argue that it is needed, some people claim that they remove this for seasoning, so the seasoning gets into the back of the actual meat. Other people say they don't have time to remove it because they're doing 500 of them or they're doing thousands of them, but we're almost got it off. Sometimes you'll do this and you'll get the whole entire thing will just slide right completely off. Let's see if we can get that little corner off. There, right, we got it. We're going to go clean up a little bit. We'll be back in a second. We're going to go ahead and kind of give these a little clean. Your skirt's gone, your membrane's now gone. You can now come in here if you want and give this a scrape. You can actually do it with a knife as well. And this will clean up any straggling membranes. You can use the tip of the knife, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's no big whoop. Like I said, we want to have these to where they will not burn as you're cooking them. Okie dokie, we are back after we kind of got cleaned up. We have our rubbing hand. We also have our slather. This is going to be a real Texas slather. This is 50% apple cider vinegar and 50% water by volume. So we're just going to give this a quick blah blah blah, and we're going to kind of give it a quick rub around. Now we're going to start pour this out. I'm going to start giving this a rub down. That's about good for one side. I'm going to give it a nice little bit more in the back. There's what you want. There's about for the Texas rub that you want. We're going to go ahead and flip this over. The reason we start on the back is because this is going to go down on the smoker, right? And this is going to go up on the smoker. So you want this to be your presentation side. And this is going to be a good presentation side because it's going to be lovely. Right, so we're going to go again in with our quick blast of our slather, move it around, and we're going to start seasoning it like so. Making sure there's no patchy pieces. We're going to give that a nice little press down. Now, as the old Chud's Barbecue says, do not forget your sides. That will be a rookie move. Now, I'm not even going to spritz the sides. And not go too crazy on the sides. And the reason why is because a lot of that seasoning and rub is going to fall down. The end cap's okay. Right, I'm happy with that. Even if you want to do that, you can grab seasoning off the board and kind of pat it in. And there we have some beautiful Texas shaped, Texas seasoned ribs. Just give it a little pat, pressing the meat into that. We'll see in a minute at the smoker. We're going to let these sit for about 10 to 15 minutes out to let them kind of tack up and take it on. This is going to be an awesome cook, guys. It really is going to be fantastic. These are some of my favorite ribs to eat. Right, we're standing here at the Premier Plus 24. Our pellet hopper is full. We're running at gorgeous 250 degrees. We're spitting out blue smoke. Hang on one second. I've actually noticed I've done something wrong. Let me go ahead and turn this. Okay, that's better. Thanks, Dan. So we're now going to place these on. We've had them sitting on the counter for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's get it done. Look at all that gorgeous blue smoke coming out of this puppy. We're going to go ahead and throw them on. Want to kind of bunch them up. Try not to burn yourself like I did. We're actually going to turn these sideways. We're going to want to kind of bunch these up, kind of pat the corners in a little bit. Try not to burn yourself like I just did. As you can see, we're now starting to gain some color. Slowly but surely, we're definitely starting to gain some color. We're starting to get that pepper nice and toasty. We're also starting to render out some of the liquid. We're going to go ahead and see how the bark formation is. Bark is looking like it's going to be sticky. But another probably hour, that won't come off, and we'll start spritzing. We're rendering some fat right there, as you can see. We're getting some fat rendering here. You can see it's starting to turn caramely. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and give this a temp, see where we're at. We're temping right around about 175, as you can see. We're going to keep on going. They're starting to look really good. We are going to go ahead and rotate these. They are hot. They're starting to feel real tender, real nice. We're going to keep it on going. We don't know if we're going to be wrapping on these ribs. We're going to play it by ear. If they get too barky, kind of too crunchy, we might even just kind of foil boat them, but we don't know yet. We're going to play it by ear. If we do decide to wrap them, we are, I think, going to use butcher's paper, but I don't think we will. I think we're just going to go unwrapped. We will be wrapping these in foil for sure for the long 4-hour rest. Alright, we're going to start kind of testing the tenderness on these. These are reading about 195. This is normally where I pull my... So we're going to kind of do this a little bit weird because the camera's there. See, that's kind of starting to flop. That pushes right through. I'm going to give these another 10-15 minutes and I'm going to call them. Alright, we had apple juice, and I have 2 kids, one that's 11 and one is 14, and they beat the hell out of the whole entire bottle. And I bought that yesterday and it's gone, so we're going to make do. So most of the wrap sauces that you see in Texas barbecue are normally just a thin sauce, right? So we're going to do this with Greg's hickory sauce from Smoking Brothers. And give it a good shake. Kind of disturb it. Right, we're going to go in with about, that's good, about a quarter of the mason jar. And then we're going to give this a shake. This is just apple cider vinegar. We're making do because I have a bunch of vampires in there that like to hackle all my stuff. Pour that in, maybe go half about that. Half of the original quantity, give it a mix. That's looking pretty nice. Oh, that's going to be good. Yeah. We're good at that. I'm happy with that. Nice and vinegary. The vinegar will die down as you heat it up. Definitely is awesome. So there you go. We made ourselves some Texas wrap sauce. Alright, for the miracle of time, these are finished. They are floppy, floppy tender. They just look phenomenal. Really, really good. They've passed all my tests. They've passed the probe test. They're stupid tender. See, they're just falling right through that. With a tiny little bit of resistance is what we want. We are clapping and flapping for sure. We're going to go ahead and shut this grill door so it calms down. Okay, there it's a little bit quieter. For me, I'm going to go ahead and burn my finger. See, we're flapping. We're going to go ahead and rotate that so the fat slap is at the back. Now we're going to wrap these puppies up real nice. We're going to, first of all, we're going to lay down some of that lovely glaze that we made. Just a little bit on here. We're going to go ahead and flip them upside down. And we're going to do exactly the same to the back. Just a little strip, not too crazy. We're going to start wrapping these puppies up. We're now going to take this in. We're going to kind of leave it right here for about 45 minutes to an hour while it kind of cools down, gets to about 140, 150, and then we're going to put it into a holding oven at 160 degrees for 3 hours. We'll see you then. For the miracle of time, we have rested this lovely, lovely Texas spare rib, just like they do in restaurants. Now we're going to crank it open. It is still hot. We're going to cut a nice little slab off of this. We still want to maintain that resting juice in there because we're not going to be, we're going to get that kind of set so we can put these back in. As you can see, through the miracle of time, these have come out absolutely fantastic. The aroma is outstanding coming off of these. We're going to cut some parts off of it. Let me get rid of this one glove. Alright, so we're going to go right down here. This is one there. We're going to do two. We're going to now take a look at them, see what they look like on the inside. They're really, really good looking. The bark looks amazing. We're going to go ahead and fold these back up so my family can eat them later. Like I say, it looks absolutely amazing. Definitely looks flavor packed. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and, like I said, you see that's real tender on the end there. Looks absolutely amazing. We're going to change camera angle so y'all can see me try this. This looks absolutely amazing. The fat's rendered really well. Definitely is something that I would be happy with if I was served this in a Texas restaurant. Look at the looks absolutely phenomenal. Right, we'll see you in just a second so we can get it tested. Alright, here we go. We're going to give this gorgeous rib a try. I apologize for eating in front of you. Here we go. Texas spare rib cooked on the gorgeous looking rib. Really good looking smoke ring. Phenomenal smelling. Let's give it a try. That is phenomenal. The tang from the vinegar, the salt, the pepper, some of the spices from the Smoking Brothers Udder Rubber coming through. Phenomenal level of salt, very savory, not getting a terrible amount of sweet. Really, really good. Nice bite. Super, super tender. Guys, that is banging. That gets... Wow, that is tremendous. God, these absolutely slap. Let's try a little bit of this end cap, which normally has a little bit of cartilage in it. If you can get that out, it's really, really good. It's different, almost like pulled pork. Oh my God, this is brilliant. Just wow. Like no rib I've ever had before. Tender, but still has a little bit of bite. I'm gonna leave this other gorgeous rib for my daughter. Like I say, it looks phenomenal. Pretty big too. She's gonna go inhale this. She's 10. She'll absolutely love this. There's no spice to it at all. I want to say thank you very much for watching. It's been great entertaining you all for a few minutes. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on the next video. We're going to go ahead and bash these. I'm going to go put the rest of these back in the oven so my daughter and, should I say my son and wife can have some of these when they come back from his soccer practice. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day. Go ahead and get yourself a Smoking Brothers. You will not regret it.